Now, our last presentation will be by Nada Seder. She's speaking on corporate tax and bookkeeping, path to seamless compliance. This is our last session, and please stay tuned because after that we have NAM Valuers is giving away Apple Watch and a leather bag. So please stay tuned.
Hello, everyone. So I think you know a little brief about me now. My name is Nada Seder. I work as a project manager in Odoo. I work as a functional consultant. I do not work with code at all. And I work with complex accounting projects since I come from an accounting background. So today I'll be telling you a little bit about our Odoo bookkeeping module and how the easiest way is for you to be compliant on day-to-day basis. So when you reach your filing, you're good. So I'm going to start. So I already introduced myself. I'm just going to go ahead with the agenda, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about Odoo. So Odoo is an ERP software. It has a lot of business areas that are covered inside the software. They're all integrated together. So my inventory responsible can be receiving from the vendor some items, and I will directly see the journal entry on the accounting module, which is really good because you always want to see everything reflecting in real time, and at the same time, always be able to trace the source document of the event. Of course, Odoo helps businesses with the digital transformation in a lot of areas. So you can have the digital transformation across all functions in the company within the same price of the user. So an entity can use all of the modules on Odoo without an additional charge on top of that. Now, Odoo can help businesses comply to corporate tax in a lot of ways. The first way is the integration that I just mentioned. A second thing would be the tax coding. So even in terms of VAT, the tax code are properly set up on the system. It's localized according to the rules of the United Arab Emirates. Another thing would be the digital invoicing. So on Odoo, you are able to send and receive invoices in a digital format. Another thing would be the multi-currency feature. It is supported on Odoo bookkeeping module, and it's automatically linked with the UAE Central Bank. Odoo is also integrated with a lot of other solutions, and you can see them here on the screen. And now it's time for me to show you a little bit of the live demonstration. So basically what we do with accounting firms is that we provide them with a dashboard that shows them all of their clients' databases. So for each client that I have, I'm going to have a separate and dedicated database that includes all of the bookkeeping they need, all of the journal entries, reporting, documents management, and all of that. So the dashboard is going to look something like this. It's going to have the activities that I need to track on daily basis. So I know if I have something new in the payment processing cycle, for example, or any activity that I have, I get notified about it, and on the dashboard I can see it. So for me as an accountant providing accounting services, I can see a summary of that on my dashboard. Now the next point would be for me to connect to one of my clients' databases. So simply I would just click on connect, and that would take me or redirect me into their database. So now I'm going to start the live demonstration in the client's database. So let's say this is my client's database. I want to show you a little bit of the setup that we do on Odoo to make sure that the accountant does everything else seamlessly. So the first thing I want to show you is the accounting module, of course. Inside the accounting module, I can put a set of chart of accounts for my client that are specific to his industry or specific to their needs. The second thing that I would set up is the journals. So I need to also categorize them so I do not pass an entry in the wrong journal. So this is why the categorization is really important. So after specifying the accounts and the ledgers, I'll also let you take a look at the taxes. Of course, the taxes are automatically installed on the database, since I specify to the database that this is this is a company acting in the United Arab Emirates. All of the localized features are installed automatically in the database. And also, if I go into one of the taxes, you can see that it's linked with the GL account and linked with the right place on the VAT report. So that is part of the setup that I wanted to show you on Odoo accounting. Another part of the setup that I want to show you is the Documents app. So on the Documents app, I have different workspaces where I can store my clients' documents, so that if they send me a document, I'm able to just move it between the workspaces to make sure that I have a proper document management database. So one of the big pain points for accounting firms, as per my knowledge, is that they have troubles managing the files or the information that they receive from their clients. So basically, one of my clients can be sending me some documents over email, another client may be sending me some documents via WhatsApp pictures or something like that. So we resolved that pain point by creating an email alias for the database and giving it to the client, so that any vendor bill that they receive from their vendors, they can just send it to this email alias and it will automatically be on my Documents app. So I'm going to show you that really quickly. If I copy this email alias and I forward these 3 invoices to this email, and then I count to 3. Okay, I think 1. Cool. So I have the invoices now in my dashboard. So now I can go ahead and I can categorize them on my database in the way I want to do. So basically, for the first invoice, I can take a look at it, and then I say that this is a vendor bill. So I'm going to create it from here. Now OCR will try to pick up the information from the PDF file and will try to fill the information on the Odoo invoice. So what I'll do is I'll go back to Documents and give the OCR a little bit of time. So this can be another invoice that I want to create. So let me create a vendor bill. And if I go back to my documents, so sometimes my clients, they can send me one PDF file that has a lot of pages, a lot of different vendor bills in the same PDF file. So what I'll do is I'll ask the system to split this document, and I can just split it and create a vendor bill for each section of it or each page of it. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my accounting and I'm going to check the bills that I created. So they are still on 0, so I need to refresh the OCR. So here, the OCR tried to pick up the information from the invoice. There are some pieces of information that I want to fix, but you have to note that this is a learning OCR. So every time I introduce a new vendor bill, the OCR is going to learn from the ones that I put in before. So for example, for the bill reference, I know that this is supposed to be the TRN of my supplier. So what I'll do is I'll click on the bill reference that is here. So this is the document number. And for the vendor, I'll select the vendor manually since it did not pick it up. The dates were picked up correctly. And now I know that this is an insurance, like a medical insurance vendor bill. So what I'll do is I'll write prepaid medical insurance and select the right GL account. So after that, I will save the information. Automatically, a journal entry is generated on the back end of that invoice with the information, with the tax, with the payable, and all. So what I'll do is I'll confirm this invoice. and you will see that there is a prepaid expense that was generated. This prepaid expense model will help me, or will actually create the journal entries for me, the entries that are used to amortize this expense on the period I'm going to use the medical insurance for. So I just need to set up the information, and the journal entries are going to be created automatically. Now I'm going to go back to the other bill. And okay, so the AI picked up the information, but it did not pick up the vendor name. So what I'll do is, since I don't have this vendor on my database, I'll just click on the name of the vendor on the PDF, and automatically the OCR is going to create the vendor for me and populate the information. So I'll save this. I'll say that this was furniture expense. Sorry, a furniture that I bought. And then I'll save, and then I'll confirm. Of course, you can also see the journal items here. Now, the last thing that I want to show you is, it's not actually the last thing, one before. So if I create a customer invoice, I'm also going to have the journal entry populated here with the taxes and everything. So I'm going to confirm this, and then I'm going to move to my reports. So if I check here my balance sheet, it's going to have all of the information that I made an effect for in my transactions. Same goes for the profit and loss statement. So yes, I can use this one. And the same goes for my tax report. So my tax report is also automatically populated with the information, but I need to change the time filter to make sure I look at this period. So here I have my sales transactions and taxes, and then I have my expense transactions and taxes. I can do the closing entry now, but I want to show you the bank statement reconciliation, because what if I have a bank charge and there's a tax inside, right? So I'm going to go to my bank account, and then I'm going to be importing my bank statement, the one that I received in Excel, let's say. So once I import my bank statement using this import feature, I'm going to be able to reconcile the lines that I received from the bank with the transactions that I have on the system. So let's say we go and we match this transaction. So this is a customer payment. The customer payment that I have on the system is 8,400, but the one I received on the bank is 8,300. So I'm going to match it with this one, and then I'm going to tell the system that I want to wipe off the entire 8,400 dirhams of receivables, and for the remaining 100, I want it to go as bank fees inclusive of VAT. The system is going to automatically complete the journal entry, and is going to assign the tax that is needed, and then I can validate. Now for the remaining transactions that I have on my bank statement, I can also match this one with this, and for the third one with this. And then I can validate. Oops, forgot to validate this one. So I have a bank statement that was validated. And now I'll do the last step of my cycle, which is the tax report. So I now want to close my tax report, and I want to zero out the VAT input and VAT output and get a result of a VAT payable or a VAT receivable. So what I'll do is I'll click on closing entry, and then I will post the entry. And now my period is locked. I cannot make any tax changes after the period that is closed. That was it for the live demo. I hope it was informative. I hope it was helpful. And I'm just going to leave you with a couple of success stories. Well, not a couple of, a good amount of success stories. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much.